Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about something kind of different, and this style of video is probably not something I'm going to do very often, but I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, and I'm sure you guys may remember this, so let's just go back a little bit. So around 9 months ago, I got myself into some drama with this commentary YouTuber, Noah Samsen. He's kind of this left-wing commentary YouTuber, and obviously I'm biased, but just objectively looking at the quality of what he makes, it's pretty good content. I mean, obviously I don't agree with a lot of what he says. I think some of the opinions that he has and, you know, some of his takes that he incorporates into his videos are things that I strongly disagree with and could probably criticize in one of these videos. But overall, I mean, you know, his ability to produce content that's entertaining, long, and captivating is impressive, so credit to him. But just a quick recap for maybe those of you who are new to the channel or who don't really remember what happened. I made a video like 10 months ago or something, and I deleted it like the next day because it wasn't really good. I wasn't making very good arguments, and overall, it just came across the wrong way. Well, in that video, I criticized a content creator who's friends with Noah Samsen, so this content creator tweeted about the video I had made where I criticized her, and Noah Samsen came in to say, well, this guy's a Leafy clone. So I went to click on his profile to discover that he's a YouTuber with a pretty decent following, and I decided to make a video reacting to some of his content, you know, after he tried to trick shot me on Twitter. Now, a little insight into the Acheeto video production strategy at this time, around 9 months ago, what I was doing to make videos, because I got a little bit lazy, but I also got a little bit creative, you could say. At the time, I was working with an editor who lived in the United Kingdom, so around the time that I would go to sleep every night was around the time that he'd wake up every day. Around the time that I'd be waking up would be, you know, nighttime for him. So my content strategy for this time period would be, you know, to have a few drinks with my friends, and then I would go to my computer having a video already set up for me to react to, and I would just watch the video kind of like a live stream, just pausing the video to give my commentary and stuff. It would basically be like a raw MP4 that I would send to my editor, so I would share the raw MP4 to my editor before I went to sleep, and then when I would wake up, I would have a fully finished video to upload for the day, and sometimes, depending on how much I had to drink, it was like I almost never even remembered making a video. It was so awesome. Now, that React formula where I watch a video live and then I have my editor put in gameplay and chop it up, I still do that sometimes. You know, I actually do that fairly often. But the the alcohol meta was definitely something. Anyway, so using that formula, I made a video called Pathetic Male Feminist Tries to Own Me. Now, I would generally advise being sober whenever you're engaging in any sort of beef on the internet. You know, you want to have a sharp mind, head in the game, you want to be making good arguments, cogent points. But at this time, it was all about the content factory. You know, content is king. I was mass-producing slop. It didn't really matter if I was making good points or whatever. And honestly, sometimes I still don't really care about making super fantastic, astute points, as long as my general message gets across, because at the end of the day, I'm still making daily videos, so every now and then something's gonna be lackluster or whatever, man. But at this time, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of throwing to a certain extent. Now, I dropped this video not thinking that Noah Samsen was gonna see it, and I didn't think he did for a while because he just didn't say anything about it for the first few weeks, I think, but then he dropped this huge video on me, which really did blow up, and I'm happy that he, you know, got some good views off of it. It was also a sponsored video, so my guess, he probably made like 6 grand from it altogether, so you're welcome, honestly. Happy to pay for a month's rent for the Samsen family, you know, I'm keeping the lights on over there. But holy shit, dude, 600k views on a 43-minute video? That's gotta be cake. 43 minutes is probably like a $7 or $8 RPM. I'm gonna go $8, so 8 times 601, that's like $4,808, plus the sponsorship was probably like 2 or 3 bands. Bro, I got you right. Just be honest. Dude, oh, maybe I should have done a second response to him, because I had one that I did after he dropped that bombshell on me, and, you know, it got a good like to dislike ratio. Yeah, some of his fans rated the like ratio, but dude, it went fine, because he responded to my response, and we're gonna get into that, but it was kind of like half about me, half about, dude, some other, like, political shit. I think the reason I didn't was because I was so scared of the fact that his main video was blowing up on me, and now he just dropped this other one. It's like, do I really want to jump back into the ring? I already got TKO'd the first time. I didn't get TKO'd, to be fair. I didn't even lose that many subs, but it was like high risk, low reward. But, you know, hindsight is 2020. It probably would have been smart for me to go back in and just farm some more views off of it, especially if the video was going to be good this time. I don't know. I guess that's kind of what I'm doing now, and I don't know. Drama's not even hot anymore, so we'll see if this gets views. But yeah, he makes his video on me, it gets a lot of views. I make a response. My response does okay. He makes a video talking about, I don't know, like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, and ties me into it as like a response to my response, but also talking about some other stuff. And that was basically it. Full transparency, I talked to Noah a fair amount offline, just on Discord and stuff, because I think he's an interesting guy, and like I mentioned, I actually do think his content's pretty good from a production side, and I think some of his humor is pretty funny too. And I'm interested in learning more about politics. You know, I think it's good to learn from all sides and take in as much info as you can from all different people from walks of life and whatever, yada yada yada, world peace. Don't judge a book by its cover, BLM, get vaccinated. So I talked to him, you know, just like guy to guy. We talk about like, okay, we disagree on this. What do you think about that? Talk about this. And it was a good talk. This was like a while ago. And I hit him up recently to ask if he was going to VidCon. I think he was planning on it, but he never ended up doing it. It would have been cool to meet him because, like I said, I actually don't have any issue with him. I mean, at least now. I probably hated him for like a week, but, you know, he's fine. But then, like, a day after VidCon, he drops this video talking about the entire Nickmercs situation, and then he ropes me into it, using me as an example of, like, an argument that he wants to, like, rebuttal and stuff. So I saw that, and I'm like, alright, you know what? You know what? He's still using me for content, one way or another. I'm gonna make a response video to, like, the original stuff and just talk about, like, our interaction or whatever. So we'll talk about the Nickmercs thing in a sec, but I want to pull up the response to my response that he made, because I never ever talked about this, and I think it's kind of funny, specifically for one image in the video that he made that I'm gonna make the thumbnail for this video because it's so funny in my opinion. It's a schizo bulletin board, bro. It's so funny to me. Alright, check this out.
Where does our guy Acheeto fit in? What is his role, and why is he even a part of this video? And, well, as I put it before, his role is that of the useful idiot. Now, I must first clarify here, calling someone a useful idiot is not the same thing as just calling them an idiot. Useful idiot is a political term with a specific meaning. It actually has roots in Red Scare anti-communism, which we do not like to see, but when I use it, it is very communist and quite very much epic. Based on Acheeto's response, it seems like he just maybe hasn't heard this term before, and that's okay, but we do need to go over it, because I think this misunderstanding might have colored his response to what I was saying.
This was around the time that I was reacting to a lot of Libs of TikTok clips because they were getting like really insane, and since then I feel like the clips on Libs of TikTok have gotten like less interesting, so I'm not really inclined to be like, oh my god, that Libs of TikTok clip, I gotta make a video on that, because it's like, I don't know, it's just not that interesting. Or they're just too short. Like, how am I gonna stretch a 30-second clip into an 8-minute video? I've done it before, but we're not gonna call those my proudest moments. Now, Noah's argument is that because I reacted to Libs of TikTok clips, and because I'll look at, I don't know, a person like this and call them cringe or something, that I'm like unknowingly contributing to people becoming more right-wing, and they'll end up becoming Hitler or something. I'm strawmanning here, okay, let me be playful, but here's what I'll say to that, okay? You know, people talk about this alt-right pipeline, how you can start with something as innocuous as, like, Fortnite fucking montages, and then you end up watching, I don't know, like Andrew Tate talking about how his 8 wives make him scrambled eggs in the morning. And the way that I see it is I see all these people talking about how I'm one of those people that is, like, the starting point for this pipeline, and me in sensitive society, people who aren't really interested in politics, they'll watch our videos, maybe one on like fat phobia or, you know, a Libs of TikTok reaction video, and then they'll get recommended a Ben Shapiro video, and maybe they like the Ben Shapiro video, and then, you know, maybe they get recommended somebody more extreme than Ben Shapiro, and it's like, here's what I have to say about that. I'm not gonna change my content because it might risk someone discovering somebody else's content because of that, because then by that logic, you know, anybody on Noah Samsen's side, the left-wing side, they shouldn't be allowed to say what they think because there's a risk that someone starts with Noah Samsen's content and ends up with some advocate for, you know, child genital mutilation, or I don't know, like throwing Molotov cocktails like Tom Brady during a protest and lighting the city on fire. Dude, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, man, this whole pipeline of like either side exists because, believe it or not, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. That's how the TikTok algorithm works. It shows you content that it thinks you'll like, and what you like is usually what you agree with. Now, full transparency, I don't really like Ben Shapiro at all. I think he's kind of a nerd emoji, and a lot of what he says seems kind of disconnected. I think he's smart, and I think he's correct on a lot of things, but overall, you know, some things, I'd say actually a fair amount of things I disagree with him on. And same thing goes for, like, Andrew Tate, you know? My advice is that when you're watching videos about politics, if you even watch that, maybe you just watch me for the internet drama, and that's cool, but when me or Noah Samsen or any person with a microphone is giving our opinions on a political issue, a social issue, something non-drama, I mean, even drama, you know, you can give your opinion opinions on, just think about it, you know, digest the information. Do you actually agree with it, or do you just agree with most of what I say, so you'll just agree with that part? But overall, I think there's definitely more schizophrenia toward my side and, you know, Sensitive Society, Turkey Tom, with like the content that we make, that the people that end up watching our stuff are gonna be like the Capitol rioters or something.
In this case, the cause in question is this anti-LGBTQ disinformation pipeline. Libs of TikTok posts a video framing gay parents or teachers as groomers. Fox News and all the rest broadcast this framing in order to demonize this community of people with the end goal of stripping them of their rights, of legislating away their humanity. Acheeto contributes to this pipeline by uncritically sharing a false story from this same source. And while his motivations may not be the same as these other outlets, he is ultimately helping them with their agenda by sharing this story, whether he knows it or not.
You see, that's the thing. I disagree with that. I fully disagree with that. I'm not ultimately helping these people with their agenda. I don't even think it's possible to help them fully with their agenda if I don't even fully agree with them. Like I said, maybe, you know, Ben Shapiro and I both make a cringe face whenever, like, a furry does a Fortnite dance or something. But I disagree, bro. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to react, be funny. Ben Shapiro's like a 40-year-old man who wants to debate college students and stuff. If you think that because I say something and maybe I change somebody's mind and they end up having an opinion that corresponds and is similar to maybe one that I share with Ben Shapiro, if you think that's supporting his entire agenda, then so be it. But I think there's so many political issues that I don't even talk about on this channel because I don't want to be wrong or anything, that how could you possibly even know that I'm helping Ben Shapiro's end goal? Also, again, this image is like, can someone make this an album cover or something? This is fire. Anyway, that's really the chunk of, you know, his response to my response from 9 months ago that I wanted to look at, because this notion that I'm just like a pawn in this grand game of political chess being played among Ben Shapiro and all these like elites and stuff is like bothering me. I'm a free thinker, okay? I do whatever I want. You know, I'm gonna prove it right now. You see what Ben Shapiro did in one of his videos? I don't think he would. I think he'd be like, actually, according to my calculations, and you know, this is true, folks, okay? I confirmed this with my wife, who is a doctor. Scientifically speaking, okay, my ex-girlfriend must have been fact because she did not care about my feelings. Now, recently he talked about the Nickmercs situation, so I want to watch his video on that, and kind of like he responded to me. And also, Hasan Piker watched his video on stream and criticized me as well, and his chat had some stuff to say about me, so I guess we'll just watch that as well. Activision removes Nickmercs Call of Duty bundle after controversial Pride Month comments? He didn't make any comments about Pride Month. He just said that children should not be exposed to content. Why is that a comment on Pride Month?
This cowardly framing that he's just sharing his opinion, oh, that's all it is, also ignores the larger context of the wave of anti-LGBTQ rhetoric and legislation and protests that have been happening in this country for a while. There have been thousands of school board protests. Many of them end up looking like this. It's being used as a culture war wedge issue.
So he's talking about, you know, gearing up for the culture war. He's gonna get into his F-18 with his recreational nuke and, you know, go to the Nickmercs house, pay him a little visit, drop him the surprise bomb. But no, jokes aside, he's basically saying that, like, okay, if you're gonna talk about this issue, you have to talk about the broader context of LGBT stuff, and I disagree. This drama was pretty cut and dry in my opinion. You know, Nickmercs made a tweet, people thought the tweet was insensitive and whatever. He got his Call of Duty skin bundle removed, and I thought it was BS. Now, I didn't think that it was a requirement or like generally recommended to talk about like the current political and economic state of the universe while talking about this stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just not gonna pull up a bill that was passed by Congress, read through the bill, and like, you know, analyze every sentence from a legal perspective. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion, you know? Maybe he wants to do that. Maybe he'd like to talk about like the overarching connections in the political and economic state and whatever. Anyway, here's what Hasan said about it. Regardless of orientation or whatever, I think kids should not be involved to sexual content. And I do find it very strange when people will take the opposing position to mine. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't help but feel like you're some kind of freak if you disagree with that statement.
You did not say anything about the LGBTQ plus community. You just said, leave the children alone, which should be a statement that everybody can get behind. It used to be a statement that people could get behind. That was a line.
Alone.
That's my
everything. Don't teach kids anything.
No, that's my statement. When I see like a kid in an Arizona parking lot trapped in a hot car, I'm like, just leave the kids alone. Like, what are you doing? Leave the kids alone. Just don't do anything.
Wolves raise all of our children.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Very consistent.
In the jungle.
Yeah, like the other day, some teacher tried to teach my child about chemistry. No thanks. Okay. We're not doing that. That's devil's language, okay?
That's
alchemy, we're not doing that. Leave them alone. No shot.
You know, he's joking and everything, but he obviously agrees with what Noah Samsen is saying and stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to take his argument seriously when he's like, I'm not going to help a kid in the Arizona parking lot because he's burning to death, because leave the kids alone, lol. Because we're not talking about just interacting with children. We're talking about interacting with children to a, you know, sexual content. Anyway, some super genius in Hasan's chat said, isn't Acheeto a straight-up Nazi? Yeah, you got me, dude. Anyway, though, I think that's where we're going to end the video. A bit longer today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and, do subscribe.